Who here feels like they've never been underpaid before? Raise your hand. Exactly. So
Crickets.
Yeah. So, you know, when I started in this field back in 2008, just graduated with my bachelor's degree, I had a dollar amount in my head that I figured I was going to never settle for less than that. And I got hired making $12 an hour with a bachelor's degree. And I really didn't know much about this field. And I was working with most severe clients on the autism spectrum for adults in the state of New Jersey. And I was getting my ass kicked every day, but for some reason I enjoyed it. And I said, how do I turn this into a career? At that agency, the pay was so poor that no matter what, it still felt like a drain on me. The reality is for those of us who are, you know, not only providing for yourself, but providing for a family, me knowing that I can work hard with something I'm passionate about, but it can also provide for my family, it takes it to a whole new level of happiness. Inside of BDA, we're constantly looking at our compensation rates to make sure they're appropriate. We pay double industry standard, you know, in New Jersey specifically. I know that one a little bit better, where, you know, that allows our people to provide for themselves, for their loved ones, and be able to help whoever they need. And that's something I knew when I came into this field, that like I was just struggling to get by. Like, how am I getting to, you know, make my next month's rent check? While a lot of times people don't like to talk about dollars and cents, it is a significant part of feeling safe, which makes people feel happy.
That's one of the things that we strive for. The more we can create consistency in hours and have it be within a current workday, that will often trump pay. When taking a look at some of these pinpoints, as we say, these are things that you could directly take a look at, measure, in addition to compensation, but compensation to me isn't everything when it comes to employee satisfaction. Opportunities for advancement is a key variable that I look at. So for an organization to have a clear path on how staff can advance will lead towards happiness. Supporting staff in finding their niche, being able to work in a reinforcing role for the organization is something important.
Just listening to you, it just reminds me of something. So, as I said, in my role, I oversee New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maine. I really don't have to, California, Isaac's got it, but we chat all the time. And one thing I've learned more than anything else is every single area, and this could even be within a state, if your operation is big, has a different culture. And what might be important to somebody in New Jersey isn't as important to somebody in Maine, based on the culture of that area. In the state of Maine, what you typically have is more seasonal work. A higher pay isn't as important to them as opposed to just a consistent job. And then, you know, you look at California, and some of the things that you've mentioned is, you know, there are a lot of agencies in California, and there's a lot of options out there. So something that people really look for is that training, coaching, and support. Sometimes we live in our own little world, and we forget that, you know, different areas are going to have very different definitions of what happiness and satisfaction are. And I'm even just talking about America, let alone going over to Europe, Middle East, wherever it might be. So it's going to be different everywhere, and that's why it's important for everyone in the room as leaders to identify within your own culture what that means, because then you can start making decisions based on that information as well.